Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Negative Alpha Bravo. And this is 7 November Golf, Roger. Request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out. November 8-5, and 8-5, 7 November, say again. 7 November, go. I copied a while ago, 1 Charlie transmission that my thing used, November, go, 1 Charlie, and 8-5, this is 7 November, Charlie. Now 1 Charlie, 7 November, go.
This is 1 Charlie, welcome to your last. You're Brandon 158 extra 5 5 1200 between teams and local. Also request your unit take outbound Nexus to see if we can try to get 59 and 8 for pause into the playground.
And this is 7 November, Roger, stand by.
Got that.
Got it? Alright. And all units, this is 7 November Golf. My unit Alpha, Echo, X-ray Alpha, Alpha in there.
One Charlie, Alpha Bravo.
Hey, I never took a dip. I forgot to take a dip.
Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over. This is Whiskey 9, go. Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Whiskey 9, Yankee, 7 November Golf, over. This is Whiskey 9, go. Whiskey 9, 7 November, interrogative Alpha Bravo. Negative Alpha Bravo. And this is 7 November Golf, Roger. Request you check your Romeo side. I'll go ahead and check my Tango side. 7 November Golf out. November 8-5, and 8-5, 7 November, say again. 7 November, go.
All right, welcome to another live stream. We're doing a Q&A here. No questions, there's no Q&A. So ask me your VA benefit questions, preferably disability, but any benefit question will do. All right, trying to help out the community. See the pinned comment here. StreamYard has changed. I was not ready for how big that was going to be. It's like bam. But hey, we have a Discord. All right. Everyone can join Discord, but there's a member-only access. And so you just link your YouTube account if you become a member. And we have a part of the CIVDIV staff, right? We have employees now. It's kind of crazy. We have a retired VA rater who just answers questions all day. Much smarter than I am. And it pains me to say that. Okay. But hey, here we go. God bless y'all. Thanks for all the info. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Darlene. Welcome. Watching this as I check into my CMP exam. That's hilarious. And it's a CMP exam because while it was cooking up, I asked them what it was for TMJ. That exam is pretty straightforward. You know, there are some exams where the easy way to say it is words have meaning and they matter. That's a pretty straightforward exam there. I would focus more so on why your service caused it than anything else. Right? Saying, I had reported symptoms in service, boom, give a date, time. And you kind of walk the examiner to give you a positive nexus. I need to do an updated video on this, but everyone gets CMP exams wrong because they cling on to the clickbaity titles and thumbnails, and I get it. Like if you know the channel, obviously I know that, but people get it wrong. The most important part about the CMP exam is to walk the examiner to give the positive opinion, the nexus. Everyone focuses on symptoms, you know, say these things. It's your worst day ever. Listen, I'm telling you, that does not matter if the opinion is not going to be established. And so the words out of your mouth, the little words coming out of your mouth, need to link back to service. It depends on the basis of connection, right? So if it's direct, it's got to be direct to service. TMJ is going to be direct. If it's secondary, it's got to link back to the primary, all right? And you have to reference evidence there. You can talk symptoms all day, but if you ain't got a nexus given by the CMP examiner, you ain't got nothing. I mean, you'll get a denial decision letter from the VA, not because of the VA, because of the CMP examiner. So just, I can rant on CMP exams all day. Okay, I really can. But yeah, good luck, dude. Right? Oh, and you're a member. I didn't even see that. Thank you for being a member. Appreciate that. Mark Thomas, what's up? How's it going? Roberto Garza. What a picture, my guy. Beautiful picture. Just want to kiss that little head of yours. All right, a little weird. If 100% PNT on IU, when is re-exam, even though you don't have re-exams? So if your decision, first of all, your IU PNT. I know the language is a little weird here. It's IU PNT. Don't worry about it. But your PNT, you have no future exams. Hence, that's why you're PNT. If you have a future exam, it'll stay on your decision letter. Dawn Dempsey, yes, it's live. It'll stay on your decision letter. Or you can even use this tool. I'll get to that big old super chat here. Wow. Okay. Let me, man, we're starting off strong here. I love you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me share my screen here. Okay. See, now I can do this live. What? Okay. I didn't know that. Update. Whatever. Okay. Whoa. I'll totally lost my train of thought. We'll go to videos. Oh yeah, it'll say on your decision letter, or you can just look at your static ratings, and there is you can do that in less than 3 minutes. I have a step-by-step walkthrough on how to get your static VA disability ratings. It's simple, but you have to follow the steps. Okay, let me just find this video for you. It's worth it. That's why I'm doing this. 3 minutes. Static ratings in 3 minutes, not clickbait. All you naysayers over there. Oh, I guess you can't see it. It's right there. I'll put this in the chat for everyone. Get your static ratings. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Do that on a desktop. Okay. Get your static VA disability ratings in less than 3 minutes. Easy peasy and lemon squeezy. Okay. We got some big buckaroos here. All right. Some big old buckaroos we have to address. First off, Michael McCaffrey. Oh my goodness, dude. Thank you very much. Thanks for your help. Filed by myself at 90%. That's great. The whole purpose of the channel was to enable veterans to learn the process as it pertains to them. A lot of veterans want to dive into M21 TAC 1 and all this stuff, which is good, don't get me wrong. But the most important thing for your average veteran is your claim situation. You don't need to know that flat feet, pes planus, and plantar fasciitis are going to have one rating if you don't have pes planus or plantar fasciitis, right? So there's a ton of information out there. You really only need to know how it pertains to you, and I'm glad to see that you're at 90%. On that note, I do want to say for anyone at 90%, okay, yes, we have a VA disability claim company. Yes, some people really hate that. Yes, some people really love it. To each their own. Anyone at 90%, we have a money back guarantee. If you don't get 100%, then you get all of your money back. So it's worth shooting us an email and checking it out. All right. I'll just kind of drop that right there. Oh, we got more. Don't worry. I'll get that. Guy Tate, you're the man. All right. Jean and Antoine. Sorry. Butchered it. Thank you very much. All right. Hey, Clay, quick question. I logged into my VA account this morning. I saw I have a claim I did not file. It says claim authorized review. I have been P&T for 4 years. Do you know why that might be? It could be an error, right? A ton of veterans, specifically who are 100% P&T, will have the VA make corrections on mistakes they made years ago. It happened to me. All of a sudden, I had all this back pay because the effective date was incorrect and they caught it themselves years later. So it could be that. It could be a bunch of things. I would say call the VA, but I'm not sure if I'm fairly certain the VA's hotline is still open, just not their education benefit hotline, but the VBA hotline is still open. I would just call them and ask personally. That's what I would do. But it's probably something related to back pay and or debt, which would suck. All right, Guy Tate, thank you very much. I appreciate that. To everyone who just got a membership from Guy, which is crazy that you did that, Guy. I mean, you did almost every live you do it, and I definitely appreciate it. All right, so EOD, and I can't choose. It's random. Everyone that says receive the gift membership from Guy Tate, there's 20 of you. All of you, everyone can download Discord, but the members, even the ones who receive the gift, can link your YouTube account, and you get to ask questions for you get to ask questions to a retired VA rater, right? And I pay him to do so. And so, trust me, I want you to ask this guy questions, okay? And Guy says, I was granted every claim I submitted for after our consult last April. Listen, guys, if you know the history of the channel, claim companies is like a big sticking point for me. It took a long time to get over that hump and then set up some guardrails for our own company. Guy Tate went through the process. He's at 100% with SMC. We don't do no magic wandy tricks. You're not going to hear a cool sales pitch. But we understand the VA disability system, and we understand evidence. All right. If you want a sales pitch, go on TikTok. I'm sure you'll find a claim company on there. But if you want someone who doesn't suck, you might want to hit us up. Okay. Anyways, I try not to promote too much, but sometimes it's just there. Okay. Guy, thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. Let's get back to answering questions. Marcella, thank you for being a member. What's up, Clay? Greeting from the Midwest. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well. And I hope Bobby D's hops on at some point because she gave me another gift, and I will show it if she hops on. All right, Robert E. Tyler Collier Jr. What a name, brother. How's it going? What's up, TMJ? We got it. BA Mike Foxtrot, thank you for being a member, says, good afternoon. I just filed my BDD claim. Thanks for all the information to get it set up. Is there such thing as submitting too many claims? Not as, I mean, yes and no. For BDD claims, I would generally say no. If you're submitting every claim under the sun to see what sticks on the wall, then the answer is yes, to include BDD claims. But BDD claims usually have, depending on the nature of your service, right? Almost every veteran I've helped with a BDD claim had at least, I want to say, anywhere from 16 to like 27-ish disabilities, right? On the higher end, it was for retirees, like you're going to have a lot there, and stuff like that. So, all right, we have another super chat. Guys, thank you. Seriously. From the bottom of my heart, my wife appreciates it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, waiting on HLR. Oh, Travel Poker, also a member. Waiting on HLR and 4 claims. Older dude, thanks for all you do. Hey, wishing you the best, dude. Keep us updated. Cross that bridge when we get there. All right, Brian Koopman. Is it common to combine sleep apnea rating? I need to set my alarm because I have to leave at 6. have to leave here at 6. I got to pick up the high school teenage boy. All right. Is it common to combine a sleep apnea rating of 50% from direct service connection and combine it with a presumptive asthma rating of 30? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. There is in 38 CFR, it's rare, just so you know. There is a rare instance where sleep apnea and asthma at 30% can be combined and elevated to a 60% rating. Very rare, but for basic almost everyone under the sun who has both sleep apnea and asthma at 30, your rating is going to be sleep apnea with asthma. So they're going to rope asthma under sleep apnea at 50%. Do not do an HLR. Okay. Do not do that. It's not going to work in your favor. It's going to waste your time. And there's no separating those ratings. All right. Guy. Yep. How do I get a VA ID card? You can do it online. You can go in person. I would just do it online personally. That's how I did it. I got my wallet's upstairs, but yeah. Easy peasy. Are HLR suspended because of the shutdown? Suspended, no. Are they likely taking longer? Yes. I think the longer the shutdown goes, the more effects on VBA specifically we're going to see. To my understanding, what the VA has said is that new claims are being delayed. And how do you define a new claim? I don't know how the VA is defining that with the confines of the shutdown. But yeah. Okay. Impeach Obama 1776. Listen, guys, I'm just reading the name here. My Terra-related entry on my VA problem list states exposure to hazardous substance. Got it. VBA sent me a letter asking if I wanted to file a claim. What does this mean? Yeah, this means that, hey, first off, the VA is prompting you saying, hey, you're exposed. If you have something under this exposure, you might want to file a claim. Boom. Cool beans. Got it. That part's finished. Question you need to answer. Do you deal with anything that could have stemmed from hazardous substance? I would look at MUCMIs. I would just look at the PACT Act in general. Okay. Actually, you know what? Let's go hoppy skippy over here. Okay. Let's go to our friend Gunny Google. This one doesn't yell at us. We want to do VA presumptive list. It comes in a PDF, and sometimes it. Why does it get buried? Why does this happen? It gets buried and buried and buried and buried so veterans can't find it. This is what I'm talking about here. I'll link this in the chat for you. Okay. Let me take your question down. So you scroll down, you'll see prisoners of war, Vietnam, you'll see atomic, and then you'll see, I assume this is you. I don't know. If you're above, just go to above. So these are your MUCMIs here. CFS, fibro, and IBS. Here's some undiagnosed illnesses there. And then you have your traditional PACT Act presumptives, if you will. Right? And so get a current diagnosis, submit the claim. Easy peasy and lemon squeezy. MUCMIs aren't so easy, but depends on what your diagnosis actually is. Okay? Yeah, Don Dempsey, I see you, and I see your question. Okay. Let me get to Don's questions here real quick. And then we will come back. Let me find it. I found it in live chat. Let me find it in this chat. Is this live? It is. No worries. I'm just looking for your chat really quick. Okay. It seems like I skipped one. Nope. or 210s. Do I have a chance with rhinitis secondary to sleep apnea? Weird secondary claim. I always say this. Any condition can be secondary to any other condition. That's not the issue, okay? That's theoretically speaking. The question is, do you have the evidence linking rhinitis to sleep apnea? Now, I'm going to tell you straight up, that's a weird claim. If I had to choose yes or no, I'm choosing no every day of the week on that one. Because when you look at obstructive sleep apnea and it building polyps, I'm no doctor, but that just doesn't line up to me. In fact, the reversal would probably line up, although that would be a weird secondary too, but it's much better. As far as rhinitis, secondary, probably not. Now, if you were exposed and you have a Terra claim, potentially presumptive, that makes your life a lot easier, okay? I would probably go the Terra route, T-E-R-A, versus any other route. I hope that answers your question. It's probably not the answer you wanted. All right. Rodak, thank you very much. I appreciate that. An increased claim on my 0% rated hearing loss. If I get a hearing exam done with a private company, can I use the results of the exam for my claim? Absolutely. Absolutely you can. And whatever evidence the private company used to complete the exam or give an opinion or write a note or whatever, you want to upload that with your claim too. In fact, I would complete a 4142. That's 41 TAC 42, by the way, if you're looking at private health records. Okay. But thank you very much, Rodak and Alan Nedzwicki. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the super chats and donations. It's pretty wild. Is there any hope, chance, Major Richard Sharp Act passes this year? Or is it over? Yeah, so I've said this even since last year, and then this year when it was getting steam again. The Major Richard Sharp Act is dead. It's dead in the water. Is it ever going to pass? I don't know. I don't think so. Is it going to pass this year? That answer is definitely no. Okay? Absolutely not. So even though Senator Wicker, Republican, by the way, blocked Major Richard Sharp Act to get a vote, assuming he didn't do that and it got a vote, I still don't think it would have passed, especially now. So the Major Richard Sharp Act is dead in the water. So Kish says he's charging his car at the moment. Don't text and drive. Definitely don't listen to my ugly voice and drive, Kish. Also, that tells everyone that you drive an electric car. Everyone say, ew. No, I'm kidding. Drive safety. Okay, let's go to our question line here. T.O. Palmer, thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. Okay. Now, I drive a minivan myself, so I got nothing to say. If you try to file as a primary and were denied, can you file again as a secondary if it makes sense? Absolutely, you can. Yes, you can, and yes, that would be enough to be considered new and new and relevant evidence. All right. Answer is yes. Now, you should still submit evidence. When you say if it makes sense, I assume you have some type of evidence there. You definitely want to front end, slam that evidence with your claim. Hey, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Anthony Hill. We appreciate that. Michael Waltz. So I have 30% for sinusitis, and I did a supplemental for rhinitis, and they approved me for 0% without a CMP exam. Is this standard? So you probably had an ACE, all right? Rhinitis so sinusitis, just kind of push that to the side. It's almost irrelevant, all right? Rhinitis at 30% is more rare than what people believe it is with polyps, okay? Rhinitis at 10% and 0% are the two most common ratings for that. If you rate 10% for rhinitis, I would simply do an HLR with an informal conference, call that a day. All right, write a little statement, outline the evidence that you have. Easy peasy there. Okay, but is it standard? Yes, but you had an ace. All right, yeah. Gil Kindmachen. That sounds German to me. Stepson requires 24-hour care since he was 8 years old. Brain damage from a car accident. Can I get benefits to help care for him? He's 100% disabled. So I'm going to assume you're the veteran, okay? If you're a child, you can just look at the dependent list there. You can continue to claim them as a dependent. Now, can you get benefits in order to help them specifically from the VA? Other than our normal benefits like Champ VA and stuff like that for P&Ters, that answer is no, right? But you can get benefits if that's what you're talking about for dependents there. My camera's off center. I always do this. I do want to give a shout out to this guy I saw in the grocery store today. I've never been to Wegmans a day in my life until today. And that's because I needed firewood. Our youth group is doing an event. I needed some firewood. Oh, here's Raider HQ After Dark just put up to reduce fraud. I'm going to have to take a peek at that. But I met this guy right here. This handsome fella. His name's Ryan. He's at Simple Vet Benefits. Okay, I haven't really checked out his channel. But to my understanding, he shares information on to help veterans. And so I saw him in real life today. That was cool. Yeah, see, same shirt. Anyways, we want to give him a quick shout out there. Simple Vet Benefits. Let me put that in the chat for everyone. Okay, there he be. Joka, no, you don't. I'm going in order. Joka. So, anyways, what to expect with a mental evaluation for a higher rate from a judge? I'm currently at 30. Well, the judge is going to do. The judge is going to look at all your evidence. Okay, I'm speaking like secondhand information right now. BVA is not my cup of tea. If that's where you're heading, which sounds like it, I hope you have an accredited attorney by your side because that's what I would do. But yeah, it's essentially I wouldn't call it a CMP exam, but it's kind of like a rating review on steroids. And so if you have the evidence, it'll be there. And if not, you could be remanded back down and you'll get a CMP exam. Long story short. I'm willing to bet there's some other factors there. All right, who caused the accident? Okay. Adrenaline wrench says my claim appears stalled. Talked to CMP examiner 2 weeks ago about 2 other items they needed to process and nothing has happened. Now on day 125 in step 3, is there anything I can do? No, there's not. You can sit down and wait. That's not the answer you want, but that's the answer. Ain't nothing you can do to speed up your claim outside of front end submission with evidence. Once you submit that claim, you just hang on and relax as best you can. I would recommend to stop checking the status of your claim, personally. I would file, forget about it. Go to the CMP exam, forget about it. Ozzy. Clay, thanks for all your help. Received my P&T with your help. I can't thank you enough for your guidance. I forgot to do this for Guy Tate. So sorry. Okay. Ozzy, we have our money reigns here. Congrats, dude. I'm glad I was a part of your process. You know, that's very, from my point of view, it's pretty satisfying work here. Yeah, I hope that relieves some financial stress on you and your family. Eric Whitcomb says, I recently moved from working in the field to working in a quiet office. Isn't it weird doing that? I've noticed my tinnitus has flared up a lot more, probably because it's quiet. You notice it more. Headaches historically follow. I'm suspected for tinnitus. Should I file secondary? First, do you have a clinical diagnosis of headaches, migraines? 2, what's your competing evidence? That's important. 3, if that's the case, although I'm not a big fan of tinnitus as a primary, I'm really not. I can't stress that enough. You can be connected for migraine secondary, but you need a pretty stellar CMP examiner, all right? I would also look at other avenues of secondary, like mental health or cervical. You have the cervical strain. That's a great one there. Also, when's the last time you drank water? You know, like, you really have to think of all avenues of evidence for and against, and instead of just submitting claims willy-nilly. First lawyer, second never accident, always negligence, now decide if criminal or not. Are you on drugs? Is this guy on drugs? All right, EZPVP. I like your name. Why would my claim say denied PTSD in one part of it, but also say granted PTSD in another part of the paperwork? Something's weird here, okay? I'm going to assume what you should do is hop on VeteranAI, okay? Upload that decision letter, whatever you're talking about. Upload that decision letter into VeteranAI and let it tell you what's going on, because there's an interpretation issue happening, okay? Or you could just shoot us an email, ask us about our evidence-based VA claim service, but either or. I have my first CMP exam for mental health tomorrow. Super nervous. Hey, totally natural for you to be nervous. I have some older videos I want to share with you. Okay. I will share it with you. One of them is right here. One of them is right here, and the other is mental health CMP exam something. Oh, I bet that's it. 111,000 views. I didn't even know that was up there. Nice. Okay. Watch these 2 videos. Save them, bookmark them, do whatever. There's your mental health exam stuff. Here's a little short announcement. I didn't realize, but this channel has 16, I don't know if you can see that, 16.5 million views this channel has. We're doing things out here. We're doing things out here. All right. Anyways. We have another super chat here. I almost missed it. I apologize. Boom, nailed it. Says, how do PTSD and insomnia ratings work? Since it's all under one mental health rating, do they stack to make one mental health rating? Stack isn't, I wouldn't say the word stack because that implies you get something bigger. It's just an umbrella. You have mental health, which is like an umbrella. And under the umbrella, anxiety, insomnia, PTSD, unspecified stressor disorder, depressive disorder, MDD, GAD, schizophrenia, bipolar. I mean, there's a billion of them, but it combines them. Yes, that's a good word to use, Kish, is combine. So for instance, if you have PTSD at 50% and you get insomnia has nothing to do with that 50% rating. It's just symptoms. Okay, so I'll show you those symptoms. That video I just shared with mental health symptoms is going to be a good video for you. But you can just go to, I'll teach you how to fish real quick. Let me zoom in here. You just type up mental health 38 CFR ECFR, bada bing, bada boom. You're going to click this ECFR rating. Mental health. So all of these are combined, right? Schizo there, you'll see obsessive OCD, PTSD, all these are combined, and this is your rating table. So if you're at 50, that's what you're rated for. The VA rates symptoms, not necessarily the diagnosis. So food for thought. It's a good lens to have. The VA always rates symptoms, not the diagnosis. And I'm saying that from like a veteran user point of view. Okay. Phil Ho, what's up? I have my first CMP exam for mental health. Oh, we answered that one. Darlene, let me make myself big. My doctor refused to write a statement for me for my claims. Yeah, welcome to the suck, homie. Welcome to the suck. You have some options. You can use VeteranAI, but then your doctor would need to sign that medical letter there, Nexus. I'm going to assume that's not possible for you. Or you can use a service like American Medical Experts. There are some there's some barriers, or not barriers. There's some thresholds that I prefer veterans to meet prior to going a Nexus letter route. But if you're right there, American Medical Experts is who I would consider, and you'll find that in the description. Okay. Let me, I'll just go ahead and link that for you. And I have it somewhere. Where is it? It's in my... Right. So if a Nexus letter on a claim is going to get you to 100%, that would be a threshold. All right. But I'm going to go ahead and link this down below. It's a huge link. So use them or not. It's totally your choice. That's fine. Oh, it doesn't work. Why does it not work? That's probably because it's too big for the YouTube live chat. Whatever. It's in the description. You'll find it. D9. Thank you for being a member. I appreciate that. All right. Recently received 100% P&T. Hold on, brother. We got to celebrate that. D9. That's awesome. Congrats. However, they deferred some parts of claim. So a claim, oftentimes we think of VA disability claim like I submitted 20 disabilities. That's a single claim. It's not. Those are individual claims. They all require their individual due diligence and adjudication process. Okay. So first, we should start with that. And so some of the disabilities that you claimed have been deferred. Guess what? It don't matter. All right. They lump TBI and PTS together. Very, very common, especially at 70%, and only rated TBI and deferred the PTSD. Will this potentially change the rating? Could it change it? Yeah, it could change it in your favor. Okay, Bobby D's nice. It could change it in your favor for sure. And potentially on the SMC. Like once you start talking about TBI and PTSD, that is like the ingredients for some SMCs, depending on what we're talking about here. Okay. But generally speaking, D9, you're 100% P&T. It's deferred. Don't worry about it. 99% chance everything's okay. Small chance it's not okay, but I wouldn't sweat it. Okay. We have another super chat from Bobby D's. Hold on. I will answer that question in a second. Bobby D's had her daughter, I believe, make me these. This one was the first one, and my kids play with it. That's why there's a missing eye. It's a Darth Maul. Hand knitted, by the way. So now my kids can play with that one. This one's much better. I don't know what you did, Bobby D's, but this one is it's more firm. It's durable. Lightsaber comes off. Okay. So thank you for that, Bobby D's. I appreciate that. And the super chat, definitely don't have to do that. I appreciate it. Okay. Let me put this back. And just in case you're wondering, yes, Darth Maul is one of my favorite characters here. I need to change the batteries on this, or else I would turn it on for you. But I'm a big old nerd. Okay. Anyways, tell me it's not the coolest thing you've seen all day. Okay. Now to answer your question. My benefit summary letter now has the effective date of when you became totally and permanently disabled due to your service-connected disabilities. Then it's blank. Should I assume I'll be P&T? That's weird. That is blank. Kish, do you have any experience on that? I can tell you this. It's probably going to be a good thing. Probably a good thing. Kish says you shouldn't assume it. Probably a good thing. This is probably going to be the most stressful 2 weeks of your life. Just relax. Let the process kind of feed out. And I'm sure you'll receive a letter. I assume you mean this is online. Okay? Like through va.gov. Let it fizz out. Let all the gears start turning. And then it'll be on va.gov first. Okay? So give it a few days, then check probably. I think it's a favorable sign though, personally. And if it's not, the offer still stands, Bobby D's. If you're not P&T, because I remember you at 94%, which sucks. If you're not P&T, email me, let me know, and I'll set you up with a free one-on-one. So you've been a long time fan of the channel. Okay. Chef Bear Claw, amazing name. Thank you for being a member. Says 80% IU. 70, yep. Haven't filed for tinnitus, sleep apnea, hearing loss. Okay. Here we go. If you are TDIU, yep, no worries, kids. Drive safe. If you are TDIU, the only reason you should even think about VA disability is if you want to work. If that answer is no, stop. Unsubscribe to everyone on YouTube and stop. Don't unsubscribe to me, Chef Bear Claw, okay? Unsubscribe to everyone else. So, do you want to work? If no, stop right there. 2, if you do want to work, I would ask, can you work? If the answer is yes, there's some other implications there with IU as far as how much you can work, okay? And then 3, I would ask, how bad do you want to work? Because if you really want to work, or you could get, a gig making $100,000 a year on an office job that you're able to perform in, is it worth going for 100% P&T? You have to answer those questions for yourself. Generally speaking, I'm going to say no. But again, everyone's situation is different. What you want out of life may be different. So those are just some questions that I would really ask before you even say the words VA disability again. All right. Teddy Woodson says, hey, Clay, is there any legit secondaries to tinnitus? There are legit secondaries to tinnitus. The issue is the current evidence, regardless of what YouTube tells you, the current evidence for tinnitus shows that tinnitus is a symptom, not necessarily a cause. And so you're really, the causation's out the window. Now you're looking at correlation. And there's so many other, there's so much competing evidence out there going against tinnitus as a primary that you just see denials flying left and right all day. Okay? All day. I'm diagnosed with tension headaches and was denied for Nexus, so I was going to change the theory. That makes sense. You're not too far off the beaten path there. I would ask what your evidence is. All right? So first, where do your migraines stem from? It's going to sound stupid, but when's the last time you drank water? Okay? What's the competing evidence? Do you have mental health that you deal with? Also a better primary. Do you have cervical strain? Better primary. Like, what is going on that's leading to your headaches, migraines? And if the answer is nothing and it's only tinnitus, okay, then it goes back to that causation thing. Is tinnitus causing your migraines? Well, the evidence says otherwise. You need a stellar C&P examiner to give you that opinion, okay? So it's migraine secondary. YouTube would tell you it's a slam dunk claim. It's not, and you'll actually see more denials than you will approvals. So there's like 50 questions you have to answer yourself there, Teddy, and then navigate to how you file your claim. The answer to how should I file this claim is always found in your evidence. It's not even up for debate. Your evidence will dictate how you submit that claim, whether it's direct, secondary, whatever. MUCMI. All right, 76-year-old Vietnam vet waiting on another session. Oh, yes, and thank you. Thank you for the super chat earlier. Appreciate that. It's a big one, too. All right, Joka. Quick question. I hope if I'm rated with 30% for my knee and then get knee replacement surgery, will it go up or down? So it won't go down, all right? The minimum rating for a service-connected knee with a knee replacement is 30%. That's definitely not going down. Can it go up? Possibly. But ideally, you get the knee replacement. The surgery would be corrective and it would be better. But it can't go below 30% for a knee replacement, right? But can it increase? Sure. But I would probably just bank on that 30%. Which is ideally what you would want anyways, because if you're getting surgery, you want it to work. Clay, denied the special adaptive housing grant. I have loss of use for drop foot and rated 100, diabetes 2. I have AFO, brace, and cane given by VA. Help me move around. Does this sound right? What kind of home improvement are we talking about? And that is something, Mike, you're a member. I would hop on Discord and go to the member-only access area and ask Kish directly. He's going to have a better answer for you. But I can tell you right now, when you ask him that question, make sure to put in there what home improvement are you seeking specifically. That part really matters. Flynn Howard, thank you for being a member, says, if I'm rated for both knees at 40 and get a rating for my right hip, does that still increase bilateral? It does. Yes, it does. Okay, let's go to our handy dandy calculator. I prefer the DAV calculator over everyone else. It's just my preference. This is the best one, though, according to me. Let's say you have 40 left leg, 40 right leg. Hips are going to be like, you'll see 0, 0, 10 a lot. So you have what? 10% for your right hip. So did you see the bilateral factor right here is 6.8? When I take the hip off, it's 6.4. So yes, the bilateral factor increases. I can tell you with where you're at, though, most times bilateral factors don't matter because the veteran has like 10, 10. Once you start hitting the 40s on each side, I mean, you can see a 6.4 bilateral factor is much more than 1.9, right? And so your bilateral factor actually matters, Flynn. So Ben Sims, beautiful face you have there, brother. Okay, let me. I've had that Print Pretty tab open next to my VA tab since I saw that video when it came out. Oh, wait, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that looking up your static ratings is solid. All right. Okay. Eric, I recently moved. Oh, we answered that one. John Weinberger. I'm at 70% for mental health, 50% for sleep apnea, 10 for tinnitus. I'm qualified for IU. Can I expect as far as the evaluation process? Treatment notes show no improvement. Did you put in for IU? Is not technically a claim, but for the purposes of what we're talking about, we're just going to go with it. Are you in the process of IU? Like you already have your ratings. Are you just assuming IU? Or since you qualify it, you want to put in for it, or you've already put in for it, right? But what can you expect? They're going to look at your ability to hold gainful employment. Straight up. Are you working right now? Are you not working right now? What's the reason? The reason's got to be connected to probably your mental health, to be honest with you. Tavares. Might be your review dependent status, like you were still married, have kids, aged out. I'm pretty sure your claim coach reached out to you. I kind of got onto him there for a minute, but I'm pretty sure everything's good. I'll be calling soon. Don't be calling me. Do not call my phone number. I was granted. Oh, yes, Sky Tate. Thank you. We got that one. KT Lyons. With the government shutdown, gave VA compensation been put on hold? Nope. VA compensation is not going to be put on hold whatsoever. It's appropriated differently than the budget or CR, and the secretary just put something out on that. I'll show you exactly where that is. Dude, this guy, we're not going to watch any of this right now. He has been on the news more than anyone I've ever seen. Okay. So here's VA's contingency plan. You can peep that, give that a look over. Long story short, your VA comp's not going to be affected. Also, if during my entrance into the military they documented that I have mild flat feet and filed for plantar fasciitis, can they still service connect it? First off, we have to address something. Flat feet's over here. Plantar fasciitis is over here. They're not the same. So can you file for plantar fasciitis? Sure. I assume you're talking about direct. If that's the case, you need the evidence required for direct. Okay. If you're talking about secondary, it doesn't really make sense probably because you already have mild plus planus, and assuming you have that connected on an aggravation claim. If you don't, that's what I would work on. I would focus on your flat feet, versus going plantar fasciitis via secondary, because they're going to share one rating. There's a lot of moving parts here. Flat feet, plantar fasciitis, not the same thing, but they share the same rating. Okay, so can you be connected for plantar fasciitis? Sure, given the evidentiary requirements for each theory of surface connection. But your flat feet probably, and I'm totally making an assumption here, is probably going to be an easier claim, although I cannot stand aggravation claims. Paying it forward. Thank you. Appreciate that. Got that, Dawn. Last thing, in your opinion, does it take? Last thing, in your opinion, what does it take for the VA to rate once DBQs are submitted? No one can answer that. The processing went down to like 93 days, I think, pre-shutdown. So that's good. Backlog has been going down. It's probably going back up now. So with that, I would say 3 to 4 months, but that's the best answer. That answer is I'm giving it to you out of nowhere. Hello. Beautiful face there, Kim Miller. Michael Waltz says, I have 91% and am trying to get to 95%. And I still have IBS that I filed in my CMP this month. Okay, you're at 91. Bilateral factor is really going to matter for you, just so you know. All right, I'll show you why. You're at 91. Let's just say you got sleep apnea, you got mental health at 70. I'm just going to do some. You got migraines at 30, and you got tinnitus at 10. So this is 91% flat, no bilateral. That's IBS, which is 94% flat. 90%. 90 is 90. All right, I'm assuming no bilateral here. If you had bilateral, let me get rid of acute mental health. Let's do a radiculopathy left leg, radiculopathy right leg. We'll do a back. We'll take off. Okay, that's 92 though. We'll take that off. Let's say you got rhinitis at 10, sinusitis at 10, and tinnitus at 10. Okay, now we're at 91% with a 3/6 bilateral. You add that 30%, then you're 100, right? And so that's like an example of bilateral factor there. And so 91, no bilateral with IBS at the highest rating is still 90. 91% with a bilateral at 20 and 20. That matters. Okay. It would boost your rating. It's a bad word to use, but so I hope that makes sense. A back pay calculator. I think Hill and Potton has a back pay calculator, Bobby D's. I haven't used that calculator in such a long time though. But if I remember correctly, they do. Because they specialize in back pay essentially, so that would make sense. But all right, Sergeant Stacking. Greetings from Northern Illinois. Good to meet you in Semper Fi, brother. Marine Corps 04 to 15, 11 years. Awesome. I was in the Marine Corps from 11 to 21. Okay, it is 6 p.m. Okay, I have to go pick up a teenage boy. If you don't know, I'm a youth pastor. That's my actual job. I don't consider CIVDIV related stuff as my job, although I work a lot on this stuff. It doesn't just happen overnight. But my passion is students who need some lovins in their life. Anyway, with that said, that means I gotta go bye-byes. Okay? So bye-bye. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it.